I was trying to figure out where to sit.
Like my dad's fan. Hardworking man.
Try to be.
Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The invocation will be said by Mayor Pro Tem Osnick.
Dear Lord, we are gathered here today to initiate 3 new members of council, 2 old, 1 brand new. We ask that you guide all of us and do what is best for the city of Norway. Amen. Amen.
Ackley.
Here.
Ambrose.
Here.
Costanzo.
Here.
Black. Here. Lublin. Osnick.
Here.
Robertson.
Here.
Thank you.
Mayor, I believe Councilmember Woodward is 1 minute away. Just for the record.
Okay. If all of you have noticed the agenda, tonight is set up a little bit different. We have a different format that's much different than our regular council meeting. And that's due to the fact that this is a closing meeting of the current city council and the swearing in and seating of the new council as a result of the election held November 5th. I would like to thank all those who participated in the election and congratulate the 2 incumbents on their re-election, Casey Ambrose and Tamara Locke, and to also congratulate and welcome Ryan Woods as a new member of the City Council. And I would also like to thank Bob Robertson for his years of service, and I hope that he will lend his knowledge and experience to one of our boards and commissions. Please, Bob, don't hesitate to pick up an application from our city clerk and be sure to complete it and return. And again, thank you, Bob. My last comment before beginning our official meeting tonight is to mention a meeting that the city manager and myself had with Jerry Millen, in hopes that as a new council moves forward, we as a city can heal from the wounds of a very strong and opinionated election on both sides. The city manager and I felt that part of this healing process would be to request Jerry Millen to drop his PPO against council candidate Jeff Rondo. I am happy to announce that Jerry Millen was very receptive to this, and as of this morning, his attorney notified Jeff Rondo's attorney and Judge Cunningham that he would not be pursuing the PPO. No side is the winner in this issue, and nor would there be a winner if Judge Cunningham would have made a decision. The biggest loser would have been the city of Wall Lake. And as your mayor, a citizen, and a taxpayer, the welfare of the city is my goal and something that I've always worked to achieve. It is my hope that this new council will pull together and work towards even a greater Wall Lake. A city that one can be proud to be a resident and or a business owner. Thank you for those few moments of your time. And now we'll move on to our agenda. We have the first proposed resolution, which is 2019-46, and I ask for a motion to approve this resolution, accepting re-elected incumbent Casey Ambrose as council member.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have support. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Ambrose,
Do I vote? Do I vote?
Yes.
Yes. Just checking sometimes. You can't vote for yourself. I get this figured out. Or make papers.
Be the first one.
Now you got her confused.
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, resolution is carried. The next, I would ask for a motion to approve resolution 2019-47, accepting re-elected incumbent Tamara Locke as a council member.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion support. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Costanzo,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes. Okay, motion carried. The next would be resolution 2019-48 to accept Ryan Woods as a council member. Do I have a support or a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there okay, we have a motion support. Any comment? Roll call, please.
Black,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Costanzo,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the conclusion of the first part of the meeting. There'll be a short little movement here, sign die, and we do have in our presence tonight Judge Ryan, probate judge of the Oakland County Circuit Court, who has honored us by coming, and she will be doing the swearing in. Our city clerk assistant.
Are you going to do individually, or would you like to do as a group, and then?
What's that?
Individually, that's why we have the photographer here, that's why we have everything.
Councilmember Ambrose? Judge Ryan?
I apologize to everyone, I forgot my robe. I really am a judge. I just don't play one on TV. But I wore all black, so I'm doing the thing.
Don't worry about me, I'm not gonna question it.
Here comes the seal.
Oh, all right.
Please. Here you come in.
All right, Mr. Ambrose, please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Wall Lake, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my ability.
I do.
Thank you. Congratulations.
If you want to get a closer picture, just get up closer.
Come on, guys, come on up closer, get a picture.
Sure, come on.
It's your mom.
A little snowy.
You can go over there too. Get a good
Alright, if you please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Walled Lake, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my abilities.
I do.
Congratulations.
We'll sign them later if that's. Mr. Woods?
Congratulations again. And same goes for his family, you can come on up. All right. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Walled Lake, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my abilities. Congratulations.
The picture's going up on the wall.
We'll sign those later. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, council members.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
You're not
Mayor.
done yet.
Oh, I'm not? There's
Well-
somebody else?
You're a couple down again.
Oh, all right, fine. Where do I go?
So don't, just have a seat, don't run away.
Okay, I won't run away.
Or stand up, whatever you'd like to do.
I'm following directives. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, we have our new council folks. They've been sworn in, and now we're going to play musical chairs. I'm going to leave Tamara where she's at. Bennett, I would like you to go down and sit next to the city attorney who's not here tonight. Casey, will you please take the Mayor Pro Tem's seat? And Gabe, I'm gonna have you move here.
Your hair looks nice.
And John, I'm gonna put you over next to Bennett. And Ryan, so, I haven't forgot you. If you will come and sit here to the left of Casey. Yeah. Do we have a name tag for Ryan yet?
We have a makeshift. I was gonna do them after we.
Don, here's your name tag.
Thank you.
And Bob doesn't get to take his till he fills out an application.
Well, you got that application, I'll fill it out right now.
Okay. Next, we have another resolution.
I'll make him get it to me.
Sorry, I thought you were finished.
No, I'm so sorry, excuse me.
Okay, our next resolution, I would like a motion on 2019-49, which is ratifying the election of Casey Ambrose as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
We've passed it down to you.
Get my own.
Okay. We have a motion, we have support. Any comment? Okay, roll call, please.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Costanzo,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes. Okay, now, if we could have Judge Ryan come back up and you get to swear Mr. Ambrose in again, this time as
Again?
Mayor Pro Tem.
Moving that up.
There you go.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Walled Lake, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Mayor Pro Tem according to the best of my ability.
I do.
Congratulations.
Okay, we just have a couple items here, and then I would like to take a recess. We have some cake, and we'll take a few minutes. But first, I would ask that we table the parliamentary procedures until the next council meeting. If I could have that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Is there support? Okay. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Costanzo,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
The next, I would also like to table the Sergeant of Arms resolution until the next council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Is there support? Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Costanzo,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the last item that isn't on the agenda, but I have a request, we've done it the last couple years because of the holidays and all the events. Mr. City Manager, do we have anything that we need to have a meeting in December 4th?
Unless you lay something over today, what you have today will get us through the year. If you decide to do what you're doing, we can move everything to the following meeting, which will be in January.
Then I would like a motion that we not have a December council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support that.
Is there any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose, Costanzo,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone will take a brief recess and celebrate our new council and eat cake. Eat cake. Eat cake and be merry.
I'm missing
Looks good. Very small. Yeah, I'm afraid this one won't be too exciting.
Why were you taking video?
Huh?
Are you taking video?
I'm streaming it.
Is it still on?
Always is.
Who's watching it?
Oh, everyone.
How many people did you send?
Had over 100 before at one time.
Wow. Hey. My new best friend. Congratulations. I came here just thank you.
How are you?
Good, you?
Good, thank you.
Hey.
Good. This meeting will go fast. Plus all this stuff goes This is one of those meetings that's
Just
the first part is and this, and then it's like a regular council meeting. Usually it doesn't have the full council meeting after, usually it's procedural and go on. But because that one got canceled.
they gotta have this one because they won't have the December.
Got out of
Every day in the shower, make sure that thing doesn't turn green.
No idea.
And then you gotta make sure it's not gonna burn your skin.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a bit of a job, but we're good there.
Oh, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it
Wow. All right, never mind that. That's not a good one. That's a good delete. Yeah, I can sleep. Just a little bit. I don't have to close it. Yeah, I might as well have a seat.
No, but I know how sometimes you can make a mess.
Probably I got a decent suit on, I'll probably screw it up. Oh, okay. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. No, it's all right. You know, 5 seconds. See if we can drop it again. Right? I guess I should know. It's 12, right? Well, the good news is my hand's not shaking that bad tonight. I probably can read it. Are you 18 years of age?
Alright, are you gonna stop by or just gonna go? I'm just gonna go. Because anywhere it's gonna drop down. Worst comes to worst, I have to go to Lansing for 24 hours. They didn't have it. They had to order it. And that's coming. So they go so tonight. It's fine. Actually, the 24 hours. well, it's, I have to drive. Well, actually, get there in an hour and 1 minute, where my house is 20 minutes. So it's a drive from where I'm going. And I'm
Why are you interested in the border commission? How are you? Good, Barry. Good. Robertson. You good?
Yeah, I am. When I saw the little bit of snow yesterday morning, I said, this ain't gonna be nothing. It kept snowing and kept snowing.
This is
not gonna be good.
This reminds me of Russia cold.
No, I'm not gonna do cake. I'm not gonna do cake. Looks like you got 2 pieces.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not supposed to be having it either.
No, I'm going with
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Drive safe.
Be a tough time to pick.
This is my oldest daughter, Patricia. This is Jerry. He owns the greenhouse.
I see you again.
I've heard a lot about you. Your sweatshirt.
Believe me, good stuff.
I'm aware.
Hell, that was You want to know my grade point average? Hell no.
Love you.
Thank you for coming.
I'll see you.
We got lots. Man, it's like a birthday party, man. You cannot eat. It's good stuff.
People might think I'm no misdemeanors, no felonies. You're really gonna make me.
Oh, this is great. It really was horrible being involved in it.
Oh my God, I did way too
I was like, really? You're so I'm like, somebody's gotta play it. Yeah, I'm the chief judge of probate. Said sir.
I don't want to put this last name.
We deal with,
They can look up the rest
I'm like, I'm a safety.
I spent 20 years with a friend of yours.
I think we're all retired.
It just looks like that, but oh, that's her.
Mr. Malonis?
I'm gonna leave the addresses off. They can.
Thank you very much. Okay, sure. Okay. Oh, yeah?
We gotta get together soon. This week. What else?
Alright, you know what, I don't know that she's gonna, we'll have to have some discussion in that meeting. I have a long time. I leave the 19th of December. Where you going? Bless you. Hanukkah, Christmas, and New Year's. Let's see, just tell you. Usually for February. Mr. Harrison. Mr. Harrison. I'll see you before this. Yeah. Everybody still there? Mrs. Harrison was the one that was there 3 years in a row.
Once you get the hang of it, you might have been just you'll catch up.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
5 to 11.
That happens. I have to get all excited about it.
Plenty of cake, you gotta help yourselves.
I already had my cake.
Helps you around the block.
It's plenty of ribs, I'll tell you that.
Dessert? All right.
Oh, yeah. They have good tips for have fun.
Why do you want to know this? Kids. My kids graduated from Did you? And where was your junior high? Was that Huntington? Right.
From you?
Did you guys get a piece of cake?
I did to get my blood sugar up because I'm crashing. Doing time change and 8 o'clock start. I'm like the Red Baron on Snoopy going. There you go. See, that's what I did. I'll be up late. Picture right up. 5:30.
Nothing wrong with a second piece of
I'll be
cake.
watching something on my Roku in the bedroom. Like, okay. I have a Roku. It's like 15 things on Roku. You have Roku? There's so much on it. It's overwhelming.
There we go.
My table. The happiest feeling that I got on Comcast got that box full of, the big cardboard box full of boxes. And all of a sudden, you're going out all these deals. I get you $19.99. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Where was that when I was calling you? I've been pull up my account. How many? Like, I'm on my second decade. Three people you can't find a deal for me. Have a great life.
Oh, it's a win, though.
I'm getting 50 channels.
There we go. John.
Tubi, Voodoo. There's so many things.
No, we didn't have coffee.
It's a cool area.
I mean, like, obviously you started that.
One of my one end, one dies,
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not dead, but I'm dead inside. One with turn on. Yeah, hit the road.
This is bad. Put it on your fridge.
Okay. Our auditor has not arrived yet, so we're going to go on to the public hearing. At this time, I would like to open up the public hearing and we'll turn it on the CDBG program for 2020. Sandra?
So for those in the audience or others who aren't familiar with the CDBG, it's the Community Development Block Grant, and the city participates every year. The funds come from the federal funding from the HUD, Housing and Urban Development, and it is administered by Oakland County. So Oakland County has advised us that for Program 20, we will receive about $29,000. And there's a memo in your packet that the administration has come together and discussed and would like to recommend that we get paid in 30%, which is the maximum amount that the city can contribute to emergency services, and the remaining going to the mobile home repair for our Fawn Lake mobile homes.
Okay. Okay, this is the time if anybody in the public would like to comment on the CDBG for 2020, now is the time to do so. Please state your name and thank you.
Hello, I'm Jasmine Valentine. I'm from Haven, so 801 Vanguard Drive in Pontiac. Hearing that news, thank you so much. I have a few things for you all. It's just like our general information and some of our figures and facts that break down what services we provide and how many people that we serve. As hopefully most of you know what Haven is, we provide services for survivors of sexual assault and intimate partner violence. Most people know Haven for our emergency shelter, but our tagline is we're more than a shelter. So we have a crisis line, prevention education, which we truly believe is a staple at Haven, because to eliminate these crimes, we have to start with pre-K and kids in middle school and high school to talk about these things, because a lot of times we wait until these individuals are in college, but we all know most American citizens don't even go to college, so that's marginalizing a huge portion of our community. So educating them on what does healthy relationships look like, what is consent, and to have that confidence to say no. And last year we actually served 31 residents from Walled Lake, and most of them either received our court advocacy, where we have different advocates throughout Oakland County that can help survivors navigate the judicial system, which can be very difficult for the everyday folks. And also most of them received our counseling services. So again, I just wanted to say thank you, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to comment on this particular item? Okay, if not, we will close the public hearing. At this time, are there any requests for agenda items?
Actually, yes, I would like to add number 5 under new business for council to make the recommendation for the allocation of this year's.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else that they would like to add to the agenda? Okay, we need approval of the council minutes of October 15th, 2019.
Support.
Okay, is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Costanzo,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we'll have audience participation. I'd like to remind everyone, you have 3 minutes and you need to give your name and address and sign in. Is there anyone who would like to speak?
My name is Sun Barker. I'm a business owner of Liz Cleaners and Taylor. I was here October 15, 2019 regarding my sidewalk. And I waited 1 month, nothing happened, so I came back again. I hate to come back here, same agenda, but something has to be done. And I want you to know, I called September 21st, it was a Saturday. Old lady she fell on sidewalk right in front of my store. And I want you to know that is tripping hazard over there. I'm gonna say again, just in case you didn't hear. Tripping hazard. So please fix it as soon as possible. I've been paying tax 27.5 years. Only fixed it once 24 years ago. That was before my late husband passed away. It's long overdue. Please, do something. This happened to be all over your face. This is your face. Your city's supposed to take care of it. It did not happen. Yes, I am upset. Please do. Because when you do it, taxpayer will appreciate you. Taxpayer will appreciate you. And that lady was an old lady, regardless of who, should not fall because of that. Please have it done. And I know you have no meeting. If not have it done, I will be here again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak at this time? No one else? We'll close audience participation. Any council reports to be given
I
tonight?
just have, Mayor, I have one report. We were supposed to have a ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow at the end of the bridge over the M5, but that has been canceled due to inclement weather. The proposed date for a new ribbon cutting has yet to be determined. Tomorrow we will have a meeting with the trail group, and I think at that point in time we will have more information on the ribbon cutting, and also let everybody know that the trail is still not open. It is still not finished. So please do not use the trail.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any reports? Yes?
Councilman Costanza and I were at a meeting in the city library probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. There was a representative there from Oakland County who mentioned that they wanted to plant 20,000 oak trees throughout the county, and they were taking acceptance of who wanted to get within the program. So with the developments that are going on with the PUD over Decker, it might be a good idea for maybe us to jump in or research to see what it would take to get in that program. But they specifically mentioned 20,000 oak trees.
Okay, did you get any paperwork or anything that you could?
There was none available at the time.
Okay.
They just started to communicate that.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, city manager.
As always, I request this mayor and city council move to receive and file the departmental and divisional statistical reports.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Support. Support, okay. Any questions or comments of the city manager?
I do have just one point of inquiry. It's just on page 62. We had an expense of $3,884 for the concrete out front. I guess we had to redo the concrete. It was obviously poor workmanship. Were we able to recover any of that money back from the original developer to reimburse us for that?
I'm not sure. Your question is, are we going to try or are we going to get it?
Are we going to at least try?
I don't know if we're going to get it. The answer is yes, we're going to try. We redid the part that you're talking about because they didn't do a good job when they poured the concrete. It's pretty obvious when the cold, the frozen water underneath pushed it up by 2 inches. We beat the 10-inch storm by a couple of days. We did anticipate that. So if we can recover, we will. That's our intent. We believe there was a flawed construction. The ironwork that was underneath the poured wasn't handled properly, and when we pulled it up, we were able to tell that. So I can't tell you we're going to get it back, but I can tell you we're going to try.
Thank you.
I have another part of my report. It's short. If you look across the way there, you see that Captain Colby is
Excuse me,
sitting.
can we take a vote?
Huh?
Yeah,
Can we take a vote?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had.
Receive and file. Sort of.
Okay, roll call please.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Costanzo.
Yes.
Lahak.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yeah.
Ackley.
Yes, okay, now the floor is yours again.
Captain Kolke is sitting in the seat where Chief Spanish usually sits. I think that Chief Coomer will get a kick out of this. I sent our police chief to the fire academy. So for the next several Tuesdays, you'll be seeing Captain Kolke, who's operationally in charge of the police division. She'll be sitting in that seat while he finishes up his fire training. So far, he's learned everything that Jim taught him. Water is wet, fire is hot. That's all of my report tonight.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there any correspondence? Okay, doesn't look like our attorney left us with any messages. No unfinished business, new business. We have resolution 2019-52, the Beechwood PUD. Do I have a motion on this, please?
I'll make the motion. Support.
Support, we have a motion, support. Is there any discussion?
I have a point of inquiry around it.
Okay.
On page 108, section 10.2, it says in agreement that there can be an increase in the number of units for a period of 6 years. Why would we have that in the agreement if we've already approved it to be 36 units? And, you know, give the zoning variances for the setbacks and the density of that area. It clearly shows there could be an increase in units up to 6, within the first 6 years of the PUD agreement.
I think the letter, the opinion written by the attorney speaks for itself. You either vote it up or table it or vote it down.
Well, maybe we need to table it till the city attorney can explain that to us, because
Yeah.
I don't know where they put any more units, so.
I'm not sure either.
It's up to you. There's 4 votes to table.
I'll move to table the PUD agreement.
Good evening, my name is Karen Brown, I'm with Pulte Homes. I think I can speak to this, if that's possible.
Let me just get well, no, if I get a motion.
The reason
Can
I'm
you hold
approaching
off
is
on your
because
motion?
you've.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just, because I'm concerned about the December meeting being moved to January.
Understandable.
So that's why I wanted to approach. I believe that's typical standard language. Obviously, we could not increase the size of this PUD without the municipality approval. I think it's just, obviously, it's a trying to explain this. It's just, it provides for, in the event that we wanted to expand the PUD by purchasing more land around the or something like that. It's not the intent of Pulte to do that. It just leaves that open. We can strike that language, I'm sure, with review from our attorney, but I don't see why it would be a problem to strike that language.
When I read that, that's if you added land to the piece.
Correct.
The condo association expands along with it. That's what it's for.
Correct.
But
my understanding, it would still have to be with approval of the city.
Absolutely.
They can't,
Absolutely.
they just can't buy land and make it part of the PUD.
No, not at all.
So if we left the language alone, it would still have to come before council. If we
Absolutely.
get our approval, so any changes would need our approval also, so that's our check valve, if you will.
Correct.
Right. Matter of fact, the last line of that 10.2 actually states to that it's required to requirements of applicable laws, codes, and ordinances. So it really could not be done without this council's approval.
That's
So it's a moot point. Gentlemen should strike it.
No.
It's a moot point, so.
It's a moot point.
It's not a moot point. It's a boilerplate. If
Right,
you want
it's
to
a
table it,
boilerplate language.
you can. If you want to approve it, you can. Approving it doesn't expand the PUD, if that was the implication of the motion. It's not going to change the PUD. City Council will always have that final say. It is boilerplate language, and striking it, I don't think it changes anything except that it goes back to legal and take another couple of months. If you pass it tonight, you're not giving away anything that you control as City Council.
the developer just wants to hold on to the ability to broaden the condo area but they'd have to come to us first.
Almost all the developments now, or many of the developments, let me say it that way, are done on the condo association, where even their homes, and so they want to control how the homes look. And condo associations keep you from having 7 cars parked in the front yard of your neighbor piled up on, and so they want to be able to control any increase. But the control for increasing the land and all of that in the condo is with the city council. This doesn't change that. It just, they don't have to come back, change their bylaws and all that kind of stuff. So I stand on the city attorney's recommendation, and I'm telling you, from where we sit, it doesn't change your authority whatsoever. If the implication is that somehow it expands the PUD, that's not my understanding, that's not the intent. and I don't believe that's what the letter said, so.
Right, I don't think the attorney would have given it to us to approve if he felt that's what
If they
that
sell
paragraph
20
meant.
units, they don't want those 20 homeowners or condo owners to be able to tell them that they can't expand their
Exactly.
zone
That's exactly.
when they come before the city.
Right. Okay, do you have any other questions, Gabe?
No, again, this PUD, I've made, my feelings well known on this. I still think that the final plans for this PUD that are noted in this resolution are still in conflict with our master plan. You know, the residents spoke out overwhelmingly against this project as presented, and, you know, I am not a fan of this PUD.
Okay, is there anyone else that has any comments tonight? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Costanzo.
No.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next is 2019-53 on the schedule of meetings. I'll be there in a minute, I hope.
I have 2020 calendars if you need them, but we went through.
Excuse me?
I have 2020 calendars if you need them.
That might be helpful. I had one laid out, but I think I left it at home.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to look it over? Certainly the council one is the one that most concerns this board, but we need everyone that has another board they participate in. Casey with the DDA, Tamara Parks and Rec, John and Dennis Planning. Anybody see any problem with any of these meetings?
In that case, move to approve.
Is there support?
I do have one point of inquiry. I do hear this a lot from the residents over the past year, is that we talked about it last year, it was the 7:30 start time. Most communities start theirs, Wixom, Wolverine Lake, Commerce, they start theirs at 7. I don't know if we want to consider it now since we're planning it out, if we want to discuss it, or if it's just too hard for everybody to make it here for 7:30. I'm just sort of throwing it out there, you know, for
We've got
thoughts.
a new board, but we've had this discussion several times. I personally am not too concerned with what time Wixom, Commerce, and the other ones start. 7 o'clock is just a little bit early. I've always held that. I wasn't even happy when we went to 7:30, but I guess I have to go along with the majority of the board, but I think 7:30 has worked out for us. It works out for staff. It gives those with family a little bit of time when they get home from work, those of you that are still working. But the board will speak 3 or 4 votes if somebody wants to do that. If there's no motion on that, do we have a motion on the schedule?
I think John made a motion.
You did, that's right, I'm sorry, you did, we have a
Madam
motion.
Mayor, I just, it doesn't affect the meetings at all, other than the day after a holiday, I will be,
Which one you're talking about, I'm sorry?
any of the day after a holiday. There's one in January, right, the January one, I'll be fashionably late. Same as February.
That's right, we have.
Yeah, it seems like you guys kill me.
Yes, we kill you with holidays.
Yeah, you kill me with holidays. I just, it doesn't work. I'll be late.
It's only those two then.
But yeah, that looks like that's it for now.
Okay. But you'll make it, just be late.
I'll just.
Okay.
Accommodate that.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, let's do a roll call, please.
Costanzo,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is the winter special assessment tax roll 2019-54. Is there a motion on that one, please?
I'll make the resolution to approve the 2019 special assessments for repair and maintenance on the Greenway Drain, Leon Drain, Taylor Land Drain, and Norton Drain to be placed on the December 2019 tax roll.
Is there support?
I'll support that.
Okay. Alrighty, is there any discussion on this? It's pretty much, we're told by the Drain Commission, who has control of all the drains, this is what the assessment is. Not that the city is placing any assessments, but if anybody has any questions.
I do, Madam Mayor. The special assessment is determined by the county, WRC. Is it a,
Let's let Sandra address
Drain
that.
Commission.
She'll address it.
This is from the Drain Commission, WRC Drain Commission, and it is, they have the responsibility and the authority to place special assessments on all the parcels that are affected. That, you know, if the drain runs through the parcel, then they are assessed. And depending on each year, it's a little bit different, depending on what they plan, what repairs need to be done, maintenance needs to be done. But as Mayor stated, this comes from the Drain Commission.
so my point of inquiry is if it's a special assessment, should there be some type of public hearing or the residents notified? Was
There
there?
is through the county. The county does it.
So when will the special assessment, if it's gonna take effect in December, as I understand this, as I understand special assessments, there's supposed to be 2 meetings. One for the special assessment and to residents to voice their concerns about it. Then the second one with the tax roll.
The county handles all of that. I believe they call it a day in review is a terminology they use. That is all the commissioner, drain commissioner. So if you have questions on that, you certainly can contact the Drain Commission. They give us what the role is, and they have that authority to say, well, this is how much goes on your taxes. We could certainly pay it out of general fund, but when there's a large dollar figure, that is not feasible. So it is.
The hearings are usually held earlier in the year, are they not?
Yes.
And I know it's not a large amount, like the Greenway Drain here is like 7,400 total. And I know on a parcel I had, it was almost 5 acres, I think we might have paid
Yes.
less than $25.
So this year there's 1,044 parcels that are.
Gonna be doing.
Right, and this total, the 12,719, part of that is what they call at-large, which means the city pays because it runs through our properties.
Right.
So the total, I think, is 9,200 that goes on 1,044 parcels. So there are some parcels that have as low as 13 cents,
Right.
79 cents. Some are $5, some are $10. The ones that are a little bit higher are businesses. Homeowners are not being outrageously taxed for this. They are receiving a benefit. That drain goes through their property and it's a benefit to them, so they do need to pay.
When the PUD, the Beechwood PUD, did their presentation, and I see the Leon Drain is on this assessment, I was under the assumption, as I understood the presentation, that that particular drain would not cost the city any money for the work on it, that the developer is gonna pay for that all the way down to the lake, including the pipe expansion. That's why I was a little surprised to see that one on this
The
tax.
Leon drain is 5,000, of which part of that is ours. I'm sorry, I don't have that number broken down, but actually I do. It's 3,200, so I don't think it even includes that at this point. That's for all the other properties down Leon. Because we don't even have parcel numbers for that development yet, so it can't be included.
I just thought the developer was going to pay for
Not
it all the way
for-
down to the lake, is how I understood
That
it.
is
That
not
was
my
the
understanding.
installation of the drain, not the maintenance.
Exactly.
not the county maintenance of the drain. Was my understanding.
Does this assessment include the pipe enclosure being enlarged if the lake work goes down?
I don't know what their, work that they plan to do, or what they've already done, but.
I think that is being paid by the developer.
The assessment that we're putting on the roll is mandated by Michigan law. The drain code of 1956 created a drain commissioner, created authority for the drain commissioner to make assessments for maintenance of drain districts. Obviously draining the area and protecting the environment by training it. They're the ones who make the determination of the work that's being done and how they assess it. The drain commissioner could be a misleading kind of a thing if you don't know the history of that. Through the years, it has evolved into the Water Resource Commission. And that's by resolution of the county commission. They were able to change it based on the 1956 law. They make all the decisions about maintenance, and this is for maintenance. They make all the decisions about where they're going to do it, and they submit their paperwork and what their assessment rolls off to the county, to the treasurer's office. They submit it back for us to do the billing because we are the tax collectors here. The suggestion that one thing, the Leon Road project had something to do with this assessment road is incorrect. There's no connection whatsoever. This is completely independent and under the authority of the 1956 Drain Code Act. Part of that act requires them to advertise public hearings and all the required transparency. It is not required by the taxing authority. If there is a complaint that they didn't know, then their complaint would be with the county agencies and not here at City Council.
This has been going on for years.
Yes, last year we paid whatever it was because it was such a trivial amount. I think the finance director pointed out that you have a 13-cent bill, but you're gonna send out a 55-cent stamp to collect that. Somebody has to make that call, so we get to do some of that here locally. If it's ridiculous, we're gonna not do that, and we have to deal with that kind of thing. But the system that they use, they don't go in and say somebody's off the hook for 13 cents. They send it up to the county, she gets it, or whoever's in finance, we have to make some calls. Do we recall what it was last year at all?
It was $579.
And so we didn't even pass that on. We took that through, that was a call we made administratively. We paid it out of general fund, and we didn't charge it to the folks in our area, because it's their money anyway. So, they paid it through their general fund, so we kind of gave it back. In this case, it's a little more. We need to bill it because our treasurer gets, but there's no connection between these other projects that are going on and what the drain commissioner, the water resource commissioner, who's elected office, there's no connection. These are different assessments, and they go to the county first, the treasurer's office forwards again. So make sure you separate that too. They're not connected. And it's a trivial amount for many parcels. It's almost absurd that we would get a bill for 13 cents, but you have to make those calls.
Right.
I'm done with that. Help out.
Okay. Ready for a roll call?
Woodland?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Locke.
Yes.
Woodland.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Costanzo.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is Resolution 2019-55, amending the voting precinct boundaries to go from 2 to 3 precincts.
So we are moving forward into the.
Can I get a motion for
Oh,
this?
sorry. Go ahead, please.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
Thank you.
support? Support. Okay, now you can go.
Okay. We're moving forward from our 2018 election and all the wonderful new laws that took place. There is a mandate that we do have certain volumes of voters within each precinct, and it is time for us, as we are growing, to increase to a 3rd precinct. We are keeping all the precincts still located at the fire hall. but it is time to expand. It's the same pie, just a different cut. So I'm looking for approval for that. It went before the election commission on November 7th for approval. So now I need your approval, and then I can send it to the state.
Alrighty. Any questions regarding this?
Just one question, will all receive
Yes, there will be
cards?
notifications,
Yes.
mailings, publications, yes.
Very nice.
Okay.
But it's coming down from the
Or
state.
just go to the same place?
You go to the state.
Pretty much.
Send us the right
How
thing.
is that? Read the street.
Or make it real easy and vote absentee.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, roll call, please.
Woodland,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Costanzo.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is the vote on the CDBG recommendation. Do we have a resolution on that? Or?
There is no resolution. No.
No? We're just voting on the
Just on the memo,
recommendation?
yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the recommendation?
I'll make that motion.
I'll support that.
Okay.
For
Any,
2019-56. Is that correct?
No resolution.
Oh, it's not a resolution.
no, there is no resolution. We're just voting on what was presented earlier at the public hearing. Are there any comments now from council? Roll call, please.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Costanzo.
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
That's-
Okay, before we go into council comments, are we just going to,
I think that, Mr. Pfeffer and his team is at another meeting expecting that our council meeting would go much longer than it has tonight. I guess I have good reason to believe that. Is anybody willing to take a break and wait while I try to contact him? I think he could be making another presentation somewhere else. I mean.
okay, well, why don't we go ahead and we can do our council comments.
Okay, that's what I have in mind. Let me just say first, the audit's in, we have draft copies of it. It's a very good audit. I expect, that his comments will be very, very, favorable. The document itself is favorable, and what's required is it gets filed by the state. I can order that up, or the city council could move to have it filed timely, and then call him back in at the first meeting, if he doesn't make it. If he doesn't make it in the next few minutes, the way you can meet your responsibility, or I can meet my responsibility, is just order him to file with the state, but it is completed. And we've looked at drafts, and that's it. He published last week. So you can, if he doesn't show, then you can move to instructing to file it timely and appear at the next meeting for presentation and comment. And if he files it, you'll have it even ahead of time, so when he does appear, you can ask him questions about it. So we can meet our legal responsibility even if he doesn't show tonight. Still hoping he does. I don't think he expected this meeting to be over by this time. I don't think,
Okay, well, let's do comments, and then we can recess to a certain time, and if he's not here, he's not here.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Lublin.
Just, election was a grind, and proud of the Walled Lake, voters who came out and represented. Thank you.
Mr. Osman.
I wish everybody a very happy and prosperous, good Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year, because we won't meet again until after the New Year.
Mr. Costanzo.
I actually second John's wishes there, since we won't see each other for almost 2 months. Have a nice Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. I do want to add one last thing. Not only is the trail a bike trail, I saw someone cross-country skiing on it already, so it has begun.
That's the only way you get down it.
That's the only way to get down it.
You're not supposed to be on the trail.
We saw this, it was a double take. So.
Probably that snowmobile dealer wasn't either, but what the hell.
Well, thank you for sticking it out with us. like Mr. Lublin said, this election season was definitely trying at times, but I'm so thankful that the citizens showed up and voiced their opinions, and I'm very honored to be able to serve for another 4 years. Thank you.
First, I want to thank everybody for their support. I did buy a new pair of shoes, so I got a lot of walking in. But to my neighborhood, my friends, my family, everybody who supported me, I do appreciate it. My door's open to anybody that needs help or assistance or questions or concerns. I do want to tell Chief Comer, good job on the audit. Very well done. But thank you, and appreciate the support and what it takes.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
Well, you know, first I'd like to thank all our residents that came out and voted and voiced their opinion and their support for the majority of the council here and what was going on. Very much appreciated. I'd like to thank my wife and family, who I think probably have to endure the most during these type of campaigns. Haven't been through it a couple of times. I mean, your skin gets any thicker, but maybe it doesn't bother you as much as sometimes it bothers your children and your wife. So to everybody that came out, thank you very much. I believe we've got some great things planned for the future here at Walled Lake, so stick around. Keep an eye on what's going on. You want to get involved, by all means, fill out one of the forms and be happy to have you on board. I'd also like to thank all the residents that came out and expressed their feelings toward the proposal one. So I believe we handled the whole marijuana, medical, and recreational properly for the size town we had, and we didn't need some outside organization coming in here and trying to shove something down our throats, because I think the catchiest phrase I heard out there was that we are Walled Lake, not Weed Lake. So to everybody, thank you very much, and have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you. And I again would like to thank everyone, and I do hope that we are headed in the right direction and do have a healing process going on. I'm sorry that our three gentlemen from the greenhouse left, because they, along with Eddie from Eddie's Barrel of Wines, were the one that came up with the idea of let's promote the old downtown and started what I hope will become an annual trunk or treat. It took a little bit of moving and shaking the last week to get all the trunks there, but once we got the trunks there, we certainly had the treaters. So it was a good event. I know both businesses put a lot into it, effort and money, and I think it was appreciated by the community, and I do wish they would have been here to thank them, but I already have in person. So anyway, it was a good event, and I hope we continue next year. So let's take a recess. How long does everybody want to wait?
I just saw a
Just a
car.
regular fire, or is that a can?
Come in, or?
Huh? Why? I'm just curious.
Wrong guy.
You guys just missed all the kudos.
You just missed the kudos.
Time is everything.
I was auditor.
You heard your ears ringing, so. My comment was to thank your business and Eddie's Barrel of Wines for trying to revive the old downtown and what a success the trunk or treat was, and that I hope it continues and becomes an annual event.
We have a lot more things.
Like I said, it was a last minute shake to get there, and we got the trunks and then we got the treaters. So anyway, we do appreciate the effort you two businesses put in.
Thank you.
So we thank you. Now, was that the car you saw? Is there somebody in the parking lot coming in?
There's a lot of cars in the parking lot. They're coming in.
Okay.
There's a couple of ways to approach it. If there's no implementation of state aid, if I were the council president that just got elected, I'd want to go home and celebrate with my family. And three that just got elected. I will instruct that he file this timely without coming back for another meeting. You can simply make a motion to instruct the independent auditors to timely file the state audit and appear at the very next council meeting with a presentation and report on the report that's already done. Remember, he doesn't come here to do the audit, he comes here to tell you, here it is. We can deliver you that audit by tomorrow, even if we had to PDF it. We probably have all that stuff. Do we have hard copies in the office? The independent auditors, guys, they like to bring you that hard copy, but we got a PDF copy. And we don't release it until he does that, and that's a matter of courtesy. Public record right now, so we can send that to everybody. So if you're inclined to go home early and then make a motion to instruct the independent auditor and the city manager to get a timely file with the state and to appear at the very next council meeting in January to give his presentation.
I think that would be a
I will
good.
make that motion. Support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have support. Could we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Costanzo.
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
I will add to that, Mayor, that we will post that, as soon as I've been contacted with him, we will post a PDF copy of that online and provide hard copies to city council members in the mailbox. All right.
You guys know about the report. No matter what it says.
We